This is your week 9 video lesson. As always, ignore any due dates and times you see in this video and instead check your course for the due dates and times that apply to you. Let's take a look at our weekly to-do list. Be a great idea to go back over the materials in that compare-contrast essay module, especially the instructions and rubric. Check any comments I left on your last post, which, depending on the semester you're taking this, might be a while ago because of spring break. Not so much in the fall, but in the spring. It might have been 2 weeks ago. So check the last discussion post you did for any comments I left you. You're watching the weekly video now, so you're in good shape. I made you a presentation on a couple of ways you might do an introduction and a conclusion for this paper. Give that a watch so that you know how to get things started and get things ended. And there's a checklist in this module, just a few things to help you put the finishing touches on your paper and make sure it aligns with the rubric. And then finally, get your paper into that Dropbox on time. Let's take a look at that checklist. Now you've got a video to help with the intro and conclusion. Now, I'm not going to cover that here, but I will go over the checklist. There's just a few things that I often see students kind of overlook before they submit their paper. So, for example, don't put research in this paper. The paper should come from you, not the internet, not AI. Don't copy anything from the web. And if you did that, it's not too late to change. We've still got time. You can probably get this paper done in a couple of hours if you write about something you really know and love. There's no reason to borrow other people's words or ideas. Check for your thesis statement. Make sure it's in the right place, the last sentence of the intro. And make sure you're not stating a fact. Something like chocolate is very different from vanilla. Also, check to make sure if you used a prong thesis, make sure that the body paragraphs are in the same order as your thesis prongs. You don't want them mismatched. Speaking of topic sentences, that prong thesis, check it against each topic sentence. Make sure thesis prong 1 matches topic sentence 1. If you went with an umbrella, definitely check your topic sentences and make sure that they're clear and powerful with good, strong transition words that guide reader through your analysis. Each topic sentence should reiterate your purpose to either compare or contrast. The body. This is a 5-paragraph essay, not 6, not 4, and I'm giving you a tip here. If you ask AI to write your paper, it's not going to give you 5 paragraphs without a fight. So make sure, check, double, and triple check your paragraphs. You gotta have 5. The body needs to stay focused on 3 key similarities or 3 key differences. Don't mix and match. It's another way AI will do you wrong. More about the body. Look closely at your content. Those topic sentences should get me to ask why, or why does this matter? So if you tell me 2 things are the same, I'm gonna go, well, okay, so why does that matter? And the way you support that is with your body material that answers those questions. And so, for example, you tell me college teachers treat students very differently from high school teachers, and I go, okay, why? Why is there a difference in the way we treat you versus the way your high school teachers treated you? Explain it in the paragraph. A little more on the body. Do you know if you went with chunking or ping-ponging? I'll know. And if you don't know, I'll also know. So make sure that as you build your body, that you're picking a strategy for organization. And you could mix them together if you do it intentionally. That's fine, but I don't recommend it for everyone. Either way, go through your body really quick and check your transition words and look and see if you're ping-ponging or chunking. And while you're doing that, remember, I see these 2 mixed up all the time. Both belongs in a compare essay. Each belongs in a contrast essay. People mix these up all the time. That's the most common mistake I see. Intro. Well, we went over the intro this week, so it should be fresh in your memory. What technique did you go with? Did you go with a flip or a backstory? Either one works. Now, make sure you're not giving away your topic sentence material, your key points in the introduction. That's a weakness. Remember, your topic sentences are your secret weapon for organization. And if you give them away in your intro, it's going to make them feel redundant later on. Conclusion. So do you know what technique you used to end this paper? Did you flip it? Or Did you go with maybe an educational conclusion? And both of these are covered in the videos elsewhere in the course. If you flipped, make sure you're not using the flip in your intro as well. You can only use the flip once per paper. And don't repeat yourself in the conclusion. This happens all the time. Own your paper. Write it well, because if you write well, there's no need for repetition. Proofread it. Now is a good time to go back, check that thesis. Make sure it's in the right place. Make sure there are no grammar errors. Make sure it's not a comma splice or a run-on. Check your topic sentences. Look for awkward, repetitive phrases and redundancies. Make sure your thesis prongs match the order of your body paragraphs. Make sure your organization is set up so that you end on your best point. Hide your weakest in the middle. I've covered that in other videos. Check and make sure you're not talking about yourself. Remember, this paper is about two subjects. It's not about you. The narrative was about you. Now you're talking about the things that anybody can relate to. A little more proofreading. You're accountable for the grammar we've covered this far in the class. And so I'm going to be picky about fragments and run-ons and comma splices and apostrophes because we've covered them so far. There are other things I'm not going to worry about, so you don't have to get all hardcore on things like passive voice and dangling modifiers and stuff that we haven't covered yet. So just worry about the grammar we've covered up to this point. Quick bonus tip if you made it this far. Asking questions in your paper is usually a weak move because questions can often very easily be turned into very powerful answers, and those answers usually work great as topic sentences. So if you find yourself asking a question in the paper, get rid of it. Come up with the answer. Chances are that answer would be a really good topic sentence, or maybe even a thesis statement. That's all I got for now. If you have any questions about anything in this week's module, come up here in Brightspace, click on the envelope, send me an email, and I'll do my best to clarify. Make sure to get your paper in on time. I'm going to get those things graded fast, get you your grades and your feedback. If you have any questions, email me in Brightspace and let me know.